Cowboy Joe 64.
I am your father.
Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right, you're looking live at Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ I Tell You What, aka Jules, and I'm joined with my dad, Cowboy Joe, aka Cowboy Joe 64 on Twitter. And we just thought we'd hop on a Saturday night and we were kind of talking about some things, and I kind of wanted to show a few things about this defense. You know, we got Chicago tomorrow, and it's a welcome home game welcome back game for Eberflus. And so, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to just point out a few things that I've seen that was just mind-blowing to me. Let's go. I already got Hoodie in the building. So what's good? Wouldn't mind linking? How about with y'all? Yeah, we can do that. What's your put your email in here, Hoodie. And then let's see. I'm gonna put this up here real quick. We ain't gonna be on long. We only gonna be on about like 20 minutes. But let's see. Let's see. Let me see what we got going. You want to say what's up to the people?
What's up to the people Saturday night? My audio okay?
Yeah. So we gonna jump right into it, people. I wanted to show this real quick. Let me see. I wanted to show this. We can kind of go over this a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so let me put this up here like this, and then we're gonna just jump right in. Let's see.
So we already on my Facebook, right?
Yeah. All right. So look at this. Now, remember, I was telling you that Jack Sanborn was just like it was just bad. Everything that he was doing, I was just like, nah, this ain't good. So let me play this in 50% speed. Okay. So let's just look at some of this right here. So let's see. On this play right here. Now let's rewind that. He's right and wide open in the middle of the field. So let's just see. So right now you got Reddy Stewart. You got Reddy Stewart right here. Let's look at the pressure. We ain't getting none. But look at Reddy Stewart right here in the slot, and you got Kenneth Murray right here going down the field with him. So let's see. And then you got whoever that is. That's what's his name?
That's Clark.
Clark, and he's by himself. He right now. So his zone is going to be over here, which is going to be this running back right here. So let's see, where is this? Okay, so Reddy Stewart passes him back to the zone. He runs back here. Now it's 3rd and 25. So at this point, Reddy Stewart doesn't have any. There is nobody over here. So he shouldn't have done that. He should have went with him, because this guy is going to the safety back here. This guy is right here. And so there is nobody for him to just be standing here. So he goes back and he just drops that over the top. And look, Donovan Wilson is over here, and Malik Hooker should have been way back here somewhere. But he's like right here, over in the middle of the field. Can't get in the middle of the field. Now remember, in the Tampa 2, the middle of the field is supposed to be covered by the middle linebacker. And look where our middle linebacker is. He way back here. So that's that on that one. And we can just keep going. I can do this all night, because that's how it happened all night.
Yeah. So while you're looking at the next one, so Brian brought us. I listened to 3 shows he did. Mm-hmm. So he was talking about the Tampa 2, Money Kiffin, just old school football, how old the scheme looked. So what we're gonna see tomorrow, really, it's gonna be quick to see if they made any quick adjustments. And but yeah, the linebacker covering, it's just not a good defense for us with the people that we have. You know, somebody like Overshawn probably could do it a lot better, but yeah, we're not really suited for that. And then
Okay, I was looking at the offense too. Yeah, we're not suited for that. But I mean, like like okay, like I'm looking at this play right here.
that's Sam Bourne right there.
Yeah, he looks lost on every single play. Okay,
Yeah.
Sanborn guy is right here, supposed to be. He way over here somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and it's like that on every play. Even on the run plays, it's just like my guy, what's happening? What are you doing? So like on this play right here, this remember I was telling you how they'll be in Tampa too, but they'll be in press. See, he's pressing him right here. Even though this is a Tampa too, he's pressing him right here.
So who is that up top?
This it would be Kyer Elam. I don't think it's Trayvon. He don't look like Trayvon. Let's see. Is it Trayvon? It is Trayvon. All right.
Mhm.
Now let's look and see. Now look how crazy this defense looks. Look at this guy right here, and look at where Reddy Stewart is. So, who is the other corner out here? So is that Kyer Elam right there? So look at this. I mean, like just right here, this is 3rd and 1. Why is this corner way back here if they just need 1 yard? So that and then let's just look at how Trayvon just gets beat. It's just nothing but it. He gets beat. That's just the bottom line. Right here, boom, he got beat. Dude is just behind him, and that ain't nothing more than you got beat. So that continuously happened all night. It happened again on the very next play. Let me see. I'm getting FaceTime videos. Hold on. Okay, so it happened again on the very next play. Look. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. Let's see. My bad, y'all. Hold on real quick. And you might have to just talk. I gotta go answer this phone call real quick. I didn't got like 5 FaceTime notifications. Hold on. But look at this play right here. They are so confused on the zone. They don't know what to do. Look at this.
Yeah, so that's pretty much you can go do with that call, check on that call, but yeah,
So
just
look at this right here. So look at this. Why is Malik Neighbors behind the zone already on this play right here? And you see look at Jackson, look at Sanborn. He don't know what to do. This defense is bad. But I'm gonna go take care of that, and you can just keep talking to him and watch this.
you can stop the video, but
Okay.
and I just talk.
Go ahead.
So yeah, what we've seen with this game is that looks like our defensive players not really prepared. Um, we got guys in the wrong spots, and when you're doing this type of defense, it's going to take some time for them to kind of gel and get in sync. So that's kind of what we're working with. It took them about 5 or 6 games, probably a little bit more than that, to kind of get comfortable with who's doing what. But yeah, the safety play. The thing that I don't really like about this defense is that this defensive scheme, it doesn't require like really great safety play. It's just not something that Marinelli ever did. You had Jeff Heath and Barry Church, and Barry Church was an undrafted free agent, probably our best safety. So it's going to take a few games. And one of the things I listened to some guys that were on earlier today, the content creators, and shout out to Big Time Show, my fraternity brother. They did a DC Universe earlier, and they were talking about how you know he had plans to have Micah. I was talking to the people about how Eberflus had plans to have Micah all the way up to the last minute. That
Mhm.
really impacted the way the defense is being played, and then these guys they're not really that comfortable with the scheme. This scheme right here, if it's not something that you've had a lot of games with or practice with, it's going to take a minute. So the safeties, they're not really a big part of the scheme. The linebackers, You know, what I was saying before you went off, I listened to 3 shows that Brian Brothers did,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just talking about how this defense was really old school. They were using like the Tampa 2 from like back in the day. So
Now
he's gonna have to make some changes.
on this play right here, I think what I had seen something on this play. I was just like, wow, look at that. Uh, I think it was. Well, see, it was Kenneth Murray. See, Kenneth Murray, this is how he is. I think he's the middle linebacker on this play. But look at Kenneth Murray. He immediately goes over there to where he's supposed to be in his zone. See that? But
He played his best game.
what I don't like is how these two up here, they are stacked. They look, see, if that was to keep going right there, he would have been beat. So it's just like, they don't understand this now in our offense, like Dak. I was looking at Terrence Steele, and I was looking at Terrence Steele, and I was looking at Dak, and I mean, they are just like Dak. Terrence Steele wasn't playing good, but Dak is really playing on another level. Like the type of throws that he's making, and the type of now I get it, it's the Giants, but the type of throws that he's making and the way that the offensive line is blocking, it really Tyler Guyton was really doing good. Like he really was, to be honest.
And still plays better when you're running the ball. If you're gonna throw the ball 52 times, you're kind of putting Steele in a bad situation because he's not good at pass blocking. He's a better run blocker, and you can't
Look,
throw it 52 times.
look at
But
Steele on this play.
yeah,
Look at Steele on this play. Say if this when we got to deal with Micah, they're gonna have to do this exact same thing. This is Steele right here.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to have this game plan for when you play against Green Bay. It's a totally different deal. This Giants defensive line. I mean, they top notch now. I mean, they probably the best defensive line we're gonna see. I have to look at the schedule. Of course, Green Bay is going to be up there, but the Giants have a really good front.
Yeah,
So,
just
Chicago doesn't.
we got to worry about them scrambling. Look how listen. This is Jack Sanborn. Look how late he is on this read right here. He going in. He was moving inside when that's not your area, my boy. And then like they got Jack Sanborn covering 17 and one Dale Robinson. That's not. And he just
Nobody's covering him.
mm-mm. Oh yeah, yeah. If Jack Sanborn is supposed to be covering you, that means nobody's covering you.
So it's probably, it's hard to say. It's probably Elam's, but this is the one down the middle. Yeah.
Now look at this. Now look at Jack Sanborn on this one. Remember I told you every play is Jack Sanborn. Look at Jack Sanborn. Look where he do. Look at how he playing. This guy, he's supposed to be. The ball is in the air.
Well, when you look at this one right here, that's probably the best one he had, but he wasn't near the pass and the receiver. But that's his best drop he had right there, probably. But it's a look. We talked about this. This defense, a bigger story that we're gonna be talking about all year, and we got to get some inside knowledge on what's happening here. I still don't understand why Jerry and Steven decided to go back to this defense. It's not a good scheme. It's just not. And what you're doing is you don't really have the personnel. Bland and Diggs. They're a lot better in man now. Diggs. It's gonna take a few games. We talked about this earlier. Last year, his best game was our first game against the Giants. Then after that, he started having knee soreness, knee issues. Well, this week, it's being reported that he's having some issues with his knee after this game. So that's kind of what you're dealing with.
This is what I want to show you right here. How Dak just like he could have ran, and it would have materialized, but he just literally just trust his arm that much. And watch how Turpin just makes this linebacker almost do a 360. But Dak just really just like he knew where he was going. He talked to Turpin before this play, and he just literally just was like, it was just like that. It just happened, and that was a false start, but they didn't catch it. But it was just like Turpin got that dude, and Dak just said, boom.
Yeah, our offense. We going into our third game. Our offense is going to be high power. Dak, he knows the offense like the back of his hand. That's another good thing about the Shoddy hire. You're not changing the offense; you're just adding to it. So
Now I
Dak,
want to
Dak
show
is
you
Dak is top level.
Dak is top level, and these two guys right here are top level. 97
Yep,
and 95, they are
yep.
top level. On all these plays, when you see them, you be like, golly.
Quiet is kept. They are our best pass rushers, and they on the inside.
Yep.
Where it ain't quiet is kept. Everybody knows it.
It's like they be causing, they be wrecking havoc. They be like,
So something that Donovan Izarico shared with the media was someone this week. I forget who to credit it to. He said that the defensive coaches are telling them to rush really just to contain and not really rush the quarterback. That is just so bizarre that they're. And so in other words, it's like he's not being coached or not. They're not being coached to rush the passer. So
yeah. I mean, it
it's
makes
just
that looks like what they're doing. It looks like they're rushing to rush the passer, and they're not rushing. I mean that they're not rushing the passer. That they just running forward. That's what it looked like. Look at him. Look at him. He ain't rushing the passer.
so yeah. Yeah.
This right here, I was going to show you this. I was just like, bro, I was like, oh my God, look at Jack Sanborn on this play, and then watch Kenneth Murray and Maris Leofow. But watch Sanborn though.
That's Clark.
No, this is no, that's not.
That is Leo Five up there.
Now, watch Sanborn. I was just like, what is he doing? It's just like, first of all, what is he doing? Okay, so like, okay, now, this we already see that Russell Wilson is about to pass. Everybody is backpedaling or about to, and and watch Jack Sanborn. Where is he going? Look, this prime example. The ball is out. It's finna go to the receiver. The ball is out. It's finna go to the receiver. Everybody's looking this way except him. Watch. I'm gonna do it again. I'm pointing with my finger and y'all can't see it. I need to do it with my mouse. Right here, the ball is out. The ball is out. Everybody is looking this way. One looking this way, two's looking this way, he's looking this way, he's looking this way, he's looking this way, he's looking this way. Jack Sanborn is looking this way. And then when he turns around, he still drifts about 4 yards back. After that, everybody's going this way. Sanborn is going that way. Sanborn is still going that way. I know he's trying to get an angle, but it's just like, you know, what it's just like, you this is that this ain't looking good. And this is supposed to be your guy that understands your defense. So, we trying to
Well,
figure it out.
he's just showing that. Who was that made that tackle right there? Was that Murray?
I'm gonna see. See, this is zone stuff, man. That's Leah foul.
And we got to talk about Leo. No, that was ready.
No, that was Maris Leah foul.
Go back and look.
Yeah. Boom. Oh, is that?
That's
Oh, yeah,
ready.
that's the Ready Stewart. Yeah, that's ready.
Yeah, and so just speaking of Leo Fowl again, one of the mysteries of the universe. Of course, it's not mysterious at all. These guys are doing this sponsor thing. So, Zimmer, that staff, they drafted Leo Fowl. You know, uh, Eberflus is, Sanborn guy. This stuff is going to cost you a game if they don't get it fixed
Again,
pretty quick.
right. Again, I want to show you this again. Look at everybody else head. Look where the ball is, and look at Sanborn. Okay, Russell Wilson takes off. Okay, Russell Wilson takes off. Look at everybody's head. This guy looking this way. This guy is looking this way. This guy is looking this way. This guy is looking this way. He is looking over here. And he's still running over here. He taking him out the play. He finna knock him out the play.
So the play you showed before that, he almost took Murray out of the play.
No, he doing this every time. He doing this every play. And this number 90 baller. our defensive line is be about like watch Solomon Thomas on this play. Another play I was looking at. I was like, watch Solomon Thomas and look at Sanborn and look at Solomon Thomas. How different they look. Like our linebackers, our lineman wasn't doing this last year. Solomon Thomas, he immediately got off that block and chased him down. He's right here.
He had a good game.
He
But
said, "Boom!"
Solomon Thomas,
Look, he got off of that.
Clark, and
He start
Osa,
he start sprinting. You see that?
he played good.
So it's just like, man,
So
but
you solved your running problem, and then you traded your edge. You could have did everything you're doing. Just kept your edge. I know. So, but yeah, they got to. We're gonna see tomorrow pretty quick what kind of adjustments we made. The first thing I'm looking at is a Sanborn in the starting lineup instead of Leah Fowl. That's gonna be pretty much. That's gonna tell me what we're doing from a coaching standpoint and from a front office standpoint. And the other one is Donovan Wilson. And I've said on our show several times I like Donovan Wilson if he's playing, you know, what he's really good at, which is down inside in the box.
look at your line. Look at your linemen on this play. They getting busy. All of them. They all getting busy. Ain't nobody moving nowhere. They creating lanes. You know what I'm saying? And they getting busy. All of them. They getting busy.
The line played good. You had some issues with Guyton and Steele, but you playing one of the better defensive lines in the NFL. We ain't gonna see that next week.
They think they finna show this angle. This angle was cold that they showed on a replay. It was just like, yeah, this right here, this is pretty cold right here. You get to see Tyler Booker like turn around in the hole and like that was pretty cold of an angle. I ran that back like 10 times last night. Look at that. Right there. That's pretty cold.
Yeah, the line. Look, you can look at the offense and you can just see, Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, Shotty.
You can see the innovation.
Yeah, you can see it. On the defensive side of the ball, you don't have that. You got a horse and buggy on the defensive side. They took us back. They took us back on the defensive side of the ball. Now again, you don't have Michael, but it's not a good scheme. It's not sound. It's just not in. This front office, man. I was watching the Chargers and the Raiders. So the Chargers, they got a good defense. Their defensive coordinator, his last name is Minter, Minter, and I can't remember his first name, but he's a young guy, up and coming guy. Their defense is physical. They flying to the ball. They covering. That's the kind of coach that they should have hired on defense. I don't know what they were doing with this hire.
And then you gotta ask yourself, like, okay, the players that you have, okay, how can you use them to benefit the team like how they have been doing? Like they just did this last year with Zim. The defense was coming together at the end of the year. So why did y'all have to go in and just like completely change?
And keep in mind too, what you did with this defense, you basically made Mozzie not part of the whole thing because Mozzie fits Zim's scheme better.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, when you traded Micah and you brought in you brought in what's his name? I mean, you did fix the run, but no, not Eberflus, Kenny Clark. You went away from what Eberflus's style of defense. Eberflus style of defense go more for the hybrid guys. Your standard two tech. You got to really be look. You got to really rush the passer, and if you don't get no pressure on a Tampa 2 defense, then the quarterback can just sit and wait till the receivers go through the zone, and they can just pick you apart. And we don't have no pass rush. Now look at what's his name on this play. Now. This is Tampa 2, so Jack Sanborn his zone is in the middle of the field. He's supposed to be going back. You know what I'm saying? He ran completely out of the play. This is your middle linebacker. That's where he's supposed to be. And he just misdiagnosed the play and then took Maris out the play. And it's just like I mean, it's just really, inexcusable. If you have
Yeah.
this, if they do this tomorrow, it's gonna be bad. Caleb Williams is gonna, because the quarterback, because all of the offensive quarterbacks and all the offensive team, they looking at this tape right here, and they looking at this tape, and they doing exactly what we doing, and they looking at how this zone is not working for the Cowboys, and they looking at Jack Sanborn and saying, "Hey, all we got to do is confuse him, and we got the green light," because he really don't know what he doing. And I hate to be just picking on him, but it's just like even on this play, I was looking at that, I was just like, dude, that's your dude. Look, watch Jack
Hmm.
Sanborn. That's your guy. You just let him run past you, and he gets a first down. That's your guy. That is in your zone. So this happens over and over and over
But
again.
the more when you look at it, here's the problem. And they had an entire off season to figure this out. They really don't have a mic. Now the closest thing they have to a mic is probably Kenneth Murray, but they don't have a true Mike linebacker.
This is the one where I was telling you about earlier today. I was telling you about how they literally was just confused about who's guarding who. Like right here. These three people right here, they're confused about who's guarding him. They don't know because look at how they're looking. He's looking in here. Reddy Stewart is over here. Watch Reddy Stewart. He gonna panic and say, "Oh," and now he running over here because that's Jack Sanborn dude, and he sees that now. But in the meantime, this is Trayvon dude over here. So I mean, and look at Trayvon. Watch Trayvon. Trayvon looks at Donovan Wilson like, "Dang, what happened?" He looked at him like, "What you doing? Like what happened?" Like watch Trayvon on this play. He looked like, "What was you doing?" And then, like I said, Reddy Stewart, he just runs over here into La La Land. Ain't nobody even over here. Watch, he just runs over here like, "Yeah, everybody's gone, bro. Where you going?" And it's just like,
He's playing underneath.
yeah, and it's just like that's just insane that he shouldn't be doing that. If this was man coverage, if they were covering their mans, it would be this simple. It would be right now. He would bump out. He would cover him, and he would cover him, and they would just go down the field with them, and that would be that. But you in a zone and don't nobody know where they supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left.
so we're gonna see what adjustments they make tomorrow. So we weren't gonna be on. We just wanted to kind of talk about this thing. So this is a really good setup for tomorrow. First quarter, first defensive play. If we see Sanborn on the field, Donovan Wilson playing deep cover, then it's gonna be a long one. That's kind of what you're talking about because these people right here, they this front office, when they just do their thing that they do a tornado could hit the stadium, and they're gonna be talking about how great the sun is, and we out here having a picnic. That's what they do. They ain't
Hmm.
gonna acknowledge it. They're not
Hmm.
gonna talk about it.
The
It's just gonna
sun,
be
the sun can have a record breaking brightness directed beaming right in the stadium, and CD can drop three passes, and then Jerry Jones is gonna say ain't nothing wrong with Mother Nature.
no curtains. Mm-mm,
No,
that's what they do.
I care about that.
So we gonna see what they doing. I watched Miami Thursday night.
Hmm.
Boy, I would be on the phone like right now trying to get Devin Achan. I mean, I'm telling you, he would be like a totally another level for our running backs.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do at the Mike linebacker. You may end up just having to go with Murray right there. Leo Fowl can do it. He's smart enough to do it. Notre Dame product. The problem with our linebackers is they're all like weak side linebackers. You don't have a true Mike.
They're this hybrid.
Yeah, I mean they all would be good if you had Kenneth Murray and Roquan Smith or Kenneth Murray and Bobby Wagner. You would be solid. But he's playing three linebackers a lot, so
Yeah, but
Leofau has to be on the field.
that third linebacker is more like a, you know,
Yeah.
how he's a linebacker safety
So
corner.
normally we play like a 5-2. what is it, 5-2? What do you call that scheme?
Yeah, it's like a nickel. Or not where it's just two linebackers, five down linemen.
And the reason he's playing three linebackers is he's really trying to stop the run. But what's happening is when he come out with the three linebackers, teams are throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So that's killing us. So look, the Eberflus, he
Teams
got
are,
it.
when he come out with three linebackers, it's obvious that he's running Tampa 2 in the zone.
Yeah, and brought us. He said it 3 shows in a row, 3 different shows. He said this defense that they're running is literally the Monty Kiffin Tampa 2 from like 30 years ago. I'm talking about that's how outdated this defense is. But this is like what the front office does. They do this kind of just goofy stuff. But it was all based on money. That's why they hired Eberflus. It was just based on the fact that they wasn't going to have to pay him a lot of money. But they should have just let Shotty. Now Shotty's gonna tell everybody that he was in on the defensive hire. You can tell he wasn't. First of all, look at what he did on the offensive side. Both the offensive line coaches are younger guys. Okay. The receiver coach on the offense is a young guy from Oregon. On the defensive side, your coordinator is an older guy. He was with your team, he was with you, 15, 20 years ago, whatever the case may be. So there you go. The defensive coaches, I don't even know some of these guys that they got. Never just like, who are
The
these guys?
the offensive coaches, they were sought after, and when you go back and you look at their previous stints, they were successful. When you go back and look at Clayton Adams, he had a successful run game in Arizona. When you go back and look at Connor Riley, he had a successful offensive line at K-State. They were successful they had a successful offensive running game at K-State. Cooper Beebe played in his system. So when you look at Eberflus, you know, you know, we know what happened there. So
Now, Whitecotton, how he pronounces it, he had good defensive lines at the Jets, and you can see the defensive line, the interior guys, they look like something that he would have.
bro,
But the edge rushers,
outside of
yeah,
our edge rushers, but you see, like I'm gonna be honest, like the edge rusher problems, like let's not put it on White. We're not gonna put it on White Cotton, but the edge rusher problems, we have the same team that we had without Micah. So we wouldn't have
yeah.
had no good, our edge rushers were good because of Micah. Micah is getting people paid. Like somebody mentioned it today. Micah is the reason why Marshawn Nealon and Dante Fowler and all those guys were able to go off to other teams and get paid because they were getting 8 and 9 sacks because teams was double teaming Micah. But now teams is not double teaming nobody. And especially if teams decide to double Dante Fowler, he won't get a sack. And the same with Marshawn Nealon, and the same with Izaraku. And then on top of that, it's being said that these guys are being taught to contain. They're not even being taught to rush the passer. And if that's true, we know for a fact that that's going to be the game plan for today, because the only reason why they would be telling them that is because Jalen Hurts did what he did against us in week 1. So they know
Hmm.
Caleb Williams is a carbon copy of that. He's even better at it. So they going to tell them this week, contain, contain, contain. Don't rush the
I
pass.
heard you say that. I've watched Caleb Williams. I didn't think he ran the ball like that. I didn't think he was a good runner, but maybe
He
I'm
is.
missing
I mean,
something.
he is. He is. He's a young quarterback that can run if he need to. He gets they said that he's like all of their first downs or something like that. He leads the league in first down running for first down.
Well, this will be a good game to have Leo foul. I
Every
think
time that we play one of them quarterbacks that we gotta like contain, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, uh, we get killed.
so. They were saying whoever it was that said that they was being coached to just set the edge and not really rush a quarterback. The person said, if you're doing this to stop the running quarterback, we play running quarterbacks pretty much every game this week, every game this year. Shout out to Nana. She sent me a text.
Yeah, no, we do. We
Mm.
play because listen, the league is going towards that. That's why I wanted Jalen Milrow. The league is going towards that. It's just like when you have a quarterback that can run, it's like a cheat code. It's like it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's like it's nothing there. I can run. I
Well,
can.
Dak did it last week.
And you know, like I said, Dak. That was what gave Dak his career at the beginning. Is that he
Well,
was just
that's really what won the game last week.
that's what won the game. And it's several. Like I said, Dak used to be known for Dak used to be known for being that quarterback that's like, you know, gonna go head up with a safety, you know, run a linebacker over. You know, that was who Dak was. You know, he broke his leg, and then all that
Yeah.
changed. So it took half of his game away. But what Dak is so good at, Dak, after Dak broke his leg, he said, "Okay, well now I'm gonna be a great quart thrower of the ball," and he did that. He became a great thrower of the ball, and now he's a great thrower, and he can run a little bit. He old, but we seen like last week that he, you know, I don't like I remember how I told you, and we can go ahead and wrap up. Remember how I told you? To me, it'd be like Dak. I be saying to myself, it be seeming like Dak is on something. It'd be like I be saying to myself, like he be super focused, like he on like Adderall or something. Then he'll have a game. We'll play the 49ers, and it'll be like, bro, like what do you mean you missed that? What's happening here? Like, you know, he be like,
Well,
you know what I mean?
yeah. You know, we call it the deer in the headlights deck. When he had those games, you just got to have a defense to just kind of hold the fort down. But I think Dak, he's the cheat code right now with the way he's got the offense down. That was the best thing to do to hire Shotty for Dak with this offense.
Well,
I
Dak
mean,
hires.
and keep in mind too, we really could have beat the Eagles. We had guys wide open, and you had guys dropping passes. We could have won that. We could easily be 2-0. We
Dude,
shouldn't have lost to the Eagles.
dude, I had to tell K Rock today and yesterday. I was like, bro, do you remember 2023 when after the 49ers game, we would just be sitting on the phone watching the game like, are you seeing this? Like our offense is like unstoppable. Like they wide open. And
Yeah,
then
yeah. Offense is looking good. I mean, give Shotty his credit and give Dak the credit. And
yeah,
Pickens is gonna
if
get
you
in
wanna
sync. You know, him and Dak wasn't in sync that first half.
I'm trying to get Trey Hendrickson up in here. I'm trying to get Trey Hendrickson up in here and see if they'll take a 3 for him or 4 for him. You only need him for 1 year. Maybe you can get him a little bit past that. See if they'll take a 3 or 4 for him. You need to try to trade and get somebody off of the 18. You need to try to trade and get somebody off of
The Dolphins, H-Chan.
A chain. We need to try to get somebody. It's a couple more 0-3 teams. Well, it's a couple more 0-2 teams. Now we need to be watching the games tomorrow to see who is going to be 0-3. Because whoever's 0-3 or whoever has a catastrophic injury to a quarterback or something like that,
Well,
that's
the Dolphins are already 0-3.
exactly. So we need to be looking at a team like that, somebody we can poach some defensive players from that's like good at this scheme, like Justin Simmons.
In Cincinnati, you know, with the injury to Burrows, they're gonna be, you know, so you got to pick up the phone. So, you know, the content creators, it's kind of different things. You know, you got your people like Jay Tuck, and I listening to my guy that I really like to listen to, Nick's. I listen to his show all the time. They're like, no way they would use a one to make a trade. And then you got the other guys on the other side, you know, Boss Cowboy and Lou. I listened to them today. They saying just take your ones and just trade them because, and the reason they saying that is because of Dak. They don't think Dak has, and I agree with this. You got to win with Dak now. These draft picks, if you try to use them down the road, you're not really doing anything for Dak.
Well, I mean, my pushback with that is you need to get Dak replacement with them picks.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be the pushback because when you look at these quarterbacks, you know, we talked about this. A lot of these quarterbacks they get drafted and drafted high. They just don't go. It can go either way.
That's why I need to talk to Boss Cowboy. I need to talk to Lou too. And I would say now you got about like 2 years left with Dak. Now you got 2 years left with Dak, and you got 4 first-round picks coming up next year. Plus you got your seconds and your thirds and all of that. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to win
They
within the wait? Are you trying to make sure you win within the next 2 years?
they
Or
trying to win. They trying to win now. They trying to put all the chips in and go get Hendricks, get people like that, and then your quarterback. You just
well, I
figure
mean,
that out later. Yeah.
You can do both. You can go get
Yeah.
Hendricks, and then you can still use your picks to try to get Dak's replacement.
And
So you can,
they could have had Dak's place replacement this year. All they had to do was just draft him. Shador. He was right there.
and he's still there, I guess, because they ain't playing him.
Yeah, you can call Cleveland and try to get him.
Yeah, it'll make headlines. It'll be perfect for Jerry. It'll be
Yeah,
all,
so that
yeah.
but that's what they're gonna have to do. They can do all of the above if they just do it the smart way. So there's a way you can really kind of put this thing together. So I kind of agree with both. I want to get something for now. You can't waste these 2 years of that. I mean you can't.
No. And I promise you, you wouldn't have been able to do none of this without if you would have signed Micah.
I mean I don't agree with that, but it is what it is. You could have signed Micah and did everything you're doing. But
what you was
yeah.
gonna do it with? What you was gonna trade to pick? What you gonna trade to get Trey Henderson and all that for? You can't. How you gonna help Dak if you ain't got no picks?
You still would have had your picks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
we'll have to see. But yeah, we can go ahead and wrap. And
All right.
yeah, man, we're gonna be on tomorrow. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
we
our
got a
first time.
post game show.
It's gonna be fun doing that for the first time. So we'll be back on and
Yeah. So everybody stay.
post game show,
We're gonna do our post game show.
3 o'clock game.
3 o'clock game. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.